What's going on? This is Marcus. You're at the channel of the Debt Free Dad, and in today's video we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the sale of our investment property, selling in the seller's market. More specifically today, we're going to dive in and talk about, hey, should you actually sell your house as is, or should you actually make repairs? Well, it depends. Hey, I'm an attorney. The answer is always going to be it depends. But I'm an attorney. I'm not your attorney, so this isn't legal advice. If you're looking for legal or financial advice, definitely contact a professional in your area. Now, when you're talking about selling the property as is, there's a lot of factors you have to consider. I think as a general rule, when you make repairs, most times, probably 99.9% of the time, making the repairs will pan out on the back end when you sell the property. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some pictures to see how these tenants left my property, and I'm going to dive in and let you all know if we decided to make these repairs, if we decided to sell it as is, what factors we considered to come to that decision. So let's dive in and talk about it. As always, if you're interested in following my debt-free journey and learning about finance, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button below on one of these sides because it'll help the channel grow. It's good for the algorithm and all that other stuff. And hit the bell notification so you get notified when I make new content. Let's dive in and talk about making repairs or as is. Let's go. So we're going to talk about some of the importance and some of the things we want to consider if you should sell your property as is or make repairs. So as you all know, or if you're new to the channel, this is your first video, I'm selling an investment property that I have. It's a selling in the seller's market. So I wanted to kind of take you all on that journey. So one of the things we had to think about was, are we going to make repairs to our property, or are we going to sell our property as is? So just a little background, and I'm actually posting up some pictures so you all can check it out. We had a new tenant move in about 2.5 years ago. So the tenant's been there for 2.5 years. Prior to that tenant moving in, we replaced the carpet, we painted, we did some drywall work. So we did make sure we got things squared away. And so now we're at the point where, hey, we're ready to sell, we're ready to put it on the market. Are we going to make the repairs? As you all know, the tenants, I had a little squatting incident, but we got that resolved. After we got that resolved, my property management company, because I always use a property management company because I like passive income to be passive and I don't want to be nobody's landlord. That's not fun. After we finally got the tenant out, we actually had the property management company go through and they do a closeout inspection. Now, because I have trust, because I've been working with these guys for years, essentially what they'll do is go through, they'll take detailed notes and photos of everything that they need or that they recommend needs repairing. They'll send that to us, and then I can either coordinate and schedule those repairs on my own, and they just coordinate the ingress and egress, the access to get in and out of the house. Or in the alternative, I can just say, hey, y'all take care of everything, let me know what the cost is, and I'll flip the bill. So they went through and made the repairs. Now, I'm going to show some pictures, but let's talk about a few things you got to consider when you want to make this decision. Generally, buyers may not want to purchase a home as is. Is that true? I think that is true as a general rule, but now times have changed significantly. A vast majority of persons buying homes are investors. And not investors like me and you buying a house to rent. They're corporate investors. Everyone is getting these REITs. These REITs have huge financial corporate interests who are buying and becoming landlords. And so a lot of times, me and you wouldn't want to buy a home that you have to fix up. But a lot of times these corporate landlords and these corporate interests, these big REITs who have these whole real estate developments and they're buying whole blocks, they don't really care about buying a home as is because they have the capital to make repairs. So generally, a regular residential buyer doesn't want to buy a home as is. I bought this home, I bought the house I'm in as is, but that's not the norm. But investors really don't care. They actually prefer to buy a home as is. That's one. The other thing you have to consider is some repairs yield a higher return on investment. Some of those repairs are windows, sidings, adding a deck or deck repair. Those are big ones that actually give you a large return on your investment. So if you are making repairs, you may want to consider some of those essential ones to also include carpet and paint. Those are minor ones that can be done, but just visually they make things a lot easier on the eye. The other thing is, what minimum repairs should you do if you do want to do the repairs? The minimum repairs that I would always recommend would be blinds, drywall, light fixtures, uh, carpet, and painting. If you do those 5 things for the most part, your place will be significantly more appealing to anyone who's walking through. Of course, I would also recommend getting a professional cleaning crew to come through and tighten things up. But those are what I like to call easy on the eye repairs. They necessarily won't break the bank per se, but they do add a lot of value. If you can't do the carpet and the painting, definitely do the drywall and the blinds. You got to take care of those. It just makes the house more appealing from the inside as well as the outside. I mean, you don't want to have a potential buyer pull up and the blinds, just all broken and looking ridiculous. It'll look real goofy. The other thing is maintain the landscape. The second most important thing is what is going on in the actual real estate market itself. Now, let's take a look at some of the photos from the walkthrough inspection that we had. And hey, these photos are going to be crazy. We replaced the carpet 2.5 years ago, and now the carpet is completely dogged. It looked like they just worked at a tar factory all day with some old Timberlands on, then decided to walk up and down the stairs and throughout the entire house in these boots every day for the last 2.5 years. So definitely one thing we had to consider was, are we going to replace the carpet? The other thing is a lot of the doors, I mean, and I get this, people have kids and kids put stickers and things on doors, so we got to remove a bunch of stickers and stuff. We definitely have to do painting. Painting is a thing that has to be done. A lot of states, painting has to be done by law if a tenant has been in a property 2 years and you're looking to sell it. By law, you actually have to paint that property if it's been a 2-year time since the last time you painted it and you had a tenant in the property. That's some states I know have that. So we definitely need to do some painting. And the other thing we did is some drywall work. Nothing major. They weren't punching holes in the walls, but it looked like it could have been an accident here or there, moving some furniture or a kid or something to that effect. So there is a little drywall work. Now, one of the things that I never understood, and it's crazy how people take care of houses. Like, blinds are like ridiculous. Look at this image of the blinds. Do you all see that image of the blinds? It's really absurd. I mean, that image of the blind, this image of the blind, it literally looks like they were like, oh, before we move out, let's break all the blinds up and jack everything up. But all in all, I'll tell you, they weren't bad tenants. I mean, they messed up the carpet. They messed up things that I would expect a renter to mess up. They didn't do anything that was super egregious or destroy anything. So those were some of the repairs that we were looking at. Also, in addition to that, we needed to make some repairs to the deck, which I don't have photos of, and the landscaping in the backyard. I don't know what happened. The backyard was beautiful because I pride myself on landscaping, and they had grass and they had a basketball court back there. And now that thing, like George Jefferson, it was just bald. So the landscaping is something that if we really wanted to get maximum return, we would actually consider doing. Now that we talked about all that, let's talk about the state of this real estate market. This is a seller's market. We have a 3-bedroom unit that's about 1,500 square feet with 2 full bathrooms and 1 half bathroom. We actually recently had an appraisal done. This was last year when we went through with a refinance with a house appraised for $157,000. I think we have a good chance to get a high recovery or get a big recoupment. This is a seller's market. Most people are getting anywhere between 15 to 20% higher than the asking price. So in light of the market, this is actually a good time. If you want to sell as is, you can sell as is. So I think just the market dictates that this is an opportunity to sell as is if you don't want to make the repairs. Now, we do have the funds set aside to make repairs, but the question is the coordination, the time frame that it'll still be on the market while the repairs are getting done, having to make that additional rent payment. When we kind of weigh all of those factors, that's something that we're really going to have to think about. The other thing is what I like to call the pain in the ass factor. Now, it would be one thing if I was selling this home solely because of an investment move. Well, I'm selling it because of an investment move, but if I were selling this home solely because of an investment move, not due to future anticipated stupidity, then I would be actually much more inclined to come out of pocket, make the repairs so we can get a maximum return. But as many of you are aware, and if you're not, just a brief summary, the HOA at this place where I have this property is really just a mess. It was really strong when I was there many moons ago. Now it's kind of terrible. So simple things as having the funds to pay for essential repairs that the HOAs require for are posing difficult because these yahoos haven't increased the HOA fee since I purchased the place in 2007. What would be the point of potentially having the best townhouse in a group of townhomes that are jacked up? So when we took all of those things into consideration, the fact that this is a high pain in the ass factor, it's an annoyance, we really want to get rid of it. We're out of state, so we don't have the bandwidth to go back and forth and supervise things and so forth. We didn't want to really pay money out of pocket to make the repairs, even though we do have some money stashed aside for repairs. Right now, it didn't seem advantageous to pay that, considering that the market is demanding anywhere between 15 to 20% more than the asking price. We ultimately decided to sell the property as is. So our goal is going to be to get this house on the market as soon as possible. Now, I do have some images of the things that we did repair. The things that we did repair were things that really needed to be repaired. We repaired and replaced the blinds because, as you all saw from those blinds, they were just atrocious. The blinds looked like Jerome from Martin Teeth. They were just all over the place. So we did replace the blind, we did do the drywall work, and we did hire a professional cleaning crew to come through and tighten up all the appliances and everything. So just when you walk in the houses, hey, it smells clean, it smells fresh. The carpet is jacked up, but you can see that, hey, the house is really in good repair. And I'm going to put a few of the images up. I love that living area too, and that fireplace. That's the one thing I wish I had, a fireplace. I actually enjoy having a fireplace, but I'll get one on the next time around. We decided to sell the property as is. Appreciate you all tuning in. Y'all take care. Have a blessed Sunday. I love y'all. Take care. Peace. Right now, if you're checking out this video, it should be a few videos popping up on the screen. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel if you want to follow the debt-free journey, and check out these videos below. It'll be content that you'll definitely like if you enjoyed this video.